Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here for this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Before we get started, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Councilwoman McDonough, would you lead us this evening?
Yes. Pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for all the men and women who are fighting for us. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. Okay, good evening once again. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all at home for watching this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Today's date is Wednesday, May 18th, 2016, and tonight's Town Board meeting is a voting meeting. And for the record, all members of the board are present with the exception of Councilman Schneider, who had a family obligation this evening and couldn't be with us tonight. We have our town clerk, Ann Spofford, all the way down to my right. Ann, thanks for being here. All the way down to my left is our town attorney, Greg Fulchetti. And, okay, once again, we have a town board voting meeting, but the first item on the agenda is a public hearing on a proposed local law enacting Chapter 15 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Employment Fingerprinting Inquiries. So before we get started, I'm going to ask the town clerk if she would please read the notice of the public hearing.
Notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel will conduct a public hearing at the Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, 10541, on Wednesday, May 18, 2016, at 7 p.m., or as soon thereafter that evening as possible, on a proposed local law enacting Chapter 15 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Employment Fingerprint Inquiries. Town of Carmel proposed local law. If adopted, it would be number 2 of the year 2016. Chapter 15, Applicant Fingerprint Inquiries. Section 1, Legislative Intent. Access to criminal history record information, CHRI, maintained by the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services, DCJS, for job license applicants is permitted pursuant to state law, federal law, or local law of a municipality or political subdivision of the state that specifically provides for fingerprint submissions to DCJS. The intent of this local law is to establish the Town of Carmel's authorization to submit applicant fingerprint inquiries to the DCJS for applicants for full and part-time employment with the Town of Carmel.
Section 2, a new Chapter 15 shall be added to the Town of Carmel Code to provide as follows. Chapter 15, Applicant Fingerprint Inquiries. Section 15-1, Authority. 9 NYCRR, Part 6051.1 and 6051.2 expressly permits the release of CHRI to entities that have statutory authority to access such records and the execution of a written use and dissemination agreed to between the DCJS and the Town of Carmel. Section 2, applicability to the town employees. The requirements of Chapter 15 applies to all applicants for employment in the Town of Carmel, whether full or part-time, including but not limited to applicants to positions that require or contemplate interaction with minors. Section 3, submission of fingerprints fees. All applicants for full and part-time employment within the Town of Carmel shall be required to submit fingerprints and information required for application of same in the form and manner as prescribed by the DCJS. Section 4, the town access to. The town supervisor and the town clerk shall have the right to review the CHRI dissemination by the DCJS. No other town employee shall have access to such information. Section 5, other applicable laws. If a prospective applicant has been convicted of a crime, any decision regarding such proposed applicant's fitness for a license of employment must be made upon consideration of the New York State Corrective Law, Section 701 through 703B, and Section 751 through 753. Corrections Law 701 through 703B provide for certificates of relief from disability and certificates of good conduct, and 751-753 set forth New York public policy to encourage the licensure and employment of persons previously convicted of one or more criminal offenses and factors that should be considered in making and hiring determination. B, those provisions herein should not be interpreted or applied to affect the statutory authority under Section 50, Section 4 of New York State Civil Service Law, which authorizes the State Civil Service Department or municipal commissioner to require applicants undergo a state and national criminal record check.
Okay,
Severability. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. We'll do that, then, John, will we? Okay. Severability. In any clause, sentence, paragraph, subdivision, section, or part of this local law, or the application thereof to any person, individual, corporation, firm, partnership, entity, or circumstances is adjudged invalid, illegal, or unconstitutional by any court of competent jurisdiction, such order or judgment shall be confined in its operation to the clause, sentence, paragraph, subdivision, section, or part of this law, or in its application directly involved in the controversy in which such judgment shall have been rendered, and shall not affect or impair the validity of the remainder of this local law or the application thereof to other persons or circumstances. Further, in adjudging such invalid provision, the court shall attempt to modify same to a provision which is not invalid, illegal, or unconstitutional, at which best achieves the intent of the invalid provision.
4, effective date, this local law shall take effect upon its filing in the office of the Secretary of State. At said public hearing, all interested parties shall be heard on the subject thereof. The town board will make every effort to assure that the public hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone required special assistance and/or reasonable accommodation shall contact the town clerk by order of the town board of the town of Carmel. Ann Spofford, town clerk.
Okay, thank you all for reading the notice of the public hearing. At this time, I'm going to open, well, actually, I need a motion. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
So moved by
Second.
Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the public hearing is now open on a proposed local law enacting Chapter 15 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Employment Fingerprinting Inquiries. Is there any members of the public that would like to come up and comment at the public hearing at this time? Come on up. Okay, there being none.
Move to close the public hearing.
Well,
Okay.
oh, do we say something after the public hearing? Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, Councilman Lombardi moved to close the public hearing. Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the public hearing is now closed at this time. Does anybody have any comment? Susan?
I do. I'm just not sure on 15.3, it says submission of fingerprints and fees, but I don't see where it's stating who is actually going to pay the fees.
Okay.
It says all applicants. It says all applicants.
All
But it said
applicants.
that they're required to submit fingerprints and information required for application. It doesn't
Right.
say that they also have to pay the fee. I mean, I would rather make it clearer that they are responsible for the fee, not the town of Carmel. I mean, with the notes, I did mention it prior.
Submission of fingerprints. All applicants for full and part-time employment with the town of Carmel shall be required to submit fingerprints and information required for application of same in the form and manner. So, Susie, you want the law on this submission of fingerprints / fees to name those who, those titles that are required to pay the fee?
Yeah, however they want to name it, but I did comment on it one time that we just need to make sure that the applicant is paying for the fee, not the town of
So
Carmel.
very,
And I
very
don't
simple.
see
It's a-
that
It's a
here.
very simple
Yeah.
correction.
Yeah,
Greg, and I don't think we have to renotice it.
You would. You'd have to
Yeah.
renotice for that. If you're going to specifically put the cost of the fee for the actual fingerprint information for the procurement of it on the applicant, which is what my understanding was supposed to be. I don't know how it got taken out. I don't know if
I remember it
Mr.
was-
Gotti took it out. I think that it was.
Yeah, it wasn't,
It would be
because the
substantive.
section is fee. I mean,
Yeah,
the
it
section is
clearly-
fees.
At one point addressed it, when Labor Council drafted the law and sent it. I don't know if that was deleted by request of one of the board members. There was a bunch of, individual communications, but it can be put in. But, I would think it would be substantive because you're actually imposing the cost or the process upon the applicant, which is certainly within your rights to do. But I think it's substantive that will require that, the law be renoticed and a public hearing be held with whatever changes, including that, you want in it.
I mean,
Up to you.
With all due respect, I don't think I've ever been on a job, gone through a job application where I've had to pay for a drug test or I mean,
This isn't drug, this is fingerprinting to see,
but to me, it's the same thing, like if I have to pass a drug test, I have to pass a background check for fingerprints. I've never, even in my high school days, college days, personally, to ask the applicant to pay the fee. I understand your point, but I'm trying to think in practical purposes, has anyone ever gone on a job application or an interview and had to pay
I've never had it been fingerprinted before.
a fee for any type of pre-employment review?
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think I agree with John. It's a $25 fee, if I'm not
I mean,
mistaken.
I don't know
We-
how much the fee is.
Yeah, no, I think Chief Kazari had told us what the fee was, because it's going through Westchester County. We have an agreement with them. And, we're the ones who are asking for the fingerprint. They have to provide us with the fingerprint. I mean, considering all the money that we spend on other things here, I don't think I don't know how many applications we're gonna get a year, but if it's $25.
I was gonna say, if it's $25, I have
Yeah,
absolutely
if
no
I remember
problem.
correctly, I think it was $25.
If we can just find out.
In that range, that's it.
Yeah, it's a very, because
Yeah.
we have the chief of police has an agreement with, Greg, what's that entity called in Westchester? Remember the entity in Westchester that they share the,
That's the RICI, repository of criminal
yeah, right, and it's
There's-
$25.
Okay,
So I think we
That's
should
my
just leave it as
recollection.
Yeah,
is.
they
I think what you do is you'd strike the word
Strike
fees.
fee.
That's
Correct.
with the whole fee.
technical.
Fees,
Okay.
fees should
I
come
would
out.
have to renotice that because it's not addressed.
We're not
Okay.
making an addition, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So what you do is at the next meeting, you just do a secret determinations type 2, and you can vote the law. I didn't prepare that for tonight because I didn't know it'd be going on for so long. I wanted to make sure that the board had time to comment, and you can get it on the next agenda to do that if you're inclined.
Can we go through the seeker now?
You need to make a determination that, my view, would be a type 2. Okay,
Yeah.
but typically we do a resolution making it a type 2. You can do it by motion if you wish. You certainly have the clerk here that you can. But the motion.
I'd like to get this done and off the table. It's been long enough that we've waited for it, so I think we should declare it a type 2, seek a determination, make the determination now, and pass the law. and
You
be
need a
done.
resolution, though.
We're all here. We
You have a
can do a resolution.
Who's going to do the resolution? Don't you have to prepare a resolution?
No, I mean, you're permitted to do it by motion, and Ann is here, she's doing minutes, so it's up to her if she wants to actually take the verbatim minutes of the motion. You're certainly assembled and you can act. You don't have to have a prepared written resolution.
Well, we can adopt it as pre-filed, too.
I didn't prepare one in advance of it. That's-
Oh, okay.
Okay, but it's a one-line resolution, okay?
Yep.
That you can do by motion, and if you're taking minutes, it'll be reflected.
Why don't you prepare the resolution? Do it now. Write it out now, and then we'll act on it.
Do you want me to just verbally do
I
it?
just
can
want you to,
ad-
yeah,
want me to
yeah,
verbally
because
do
I
it and
want
you
it to
can
be
adopt it?
correct. I want
Okay.
it from you.
Okay, that's fine. I would set your motion to be,
Okay.
okay, that local law number 2 of the year 2016, chapter 15 of the town code, entitled Applicant Fingerprint Inquiries, is a type 2 action under New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, and as such, no further review is necessary. And you can move to adopt that motion, or pass that motion as stated. Just making sure that Ann got what I said.
Got it.
Okay, so I move to accept that motion as
Wait,
dictated by Greg and recorded by the clerk.
second.
Second.
I just have one question before we vote on the motion. This does not include seasonal employees, correct?
Yeah,
All in
full
part-time.
part-time, yes,
Recreational, seasonal?
yes.
Seasonal or come under the part-time purview, so I would
Yeah.
say it
So the
does.
summer kids,
Yes, but
the lifeguards, the counselors in training? What's the age, the cutoff for
Well,
the
they're not
age?
employees, counselors in training.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
You know,
They technically are.
Right.
They are. We actually insure them.
guys,
Under our
this is
workers'
something,
comp.
this is really something that we've talked about for many, many
No,
months.
but
and
you're
to
not
ask
gonna,
these
you're not gonna
questions at
ask
the
a
end-
you're not gonna ask a
Let's just-
15-year-old kid to
just-
submit the fingerprints.
Let's just wait 1 second. Let's do the seeker, and then that's something that goes to whether you want to consider the law. But no matter what, the seeker is, it's a type 2. You can vote on that and then determine whether or not you want that to be included in the law. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, just for the record, I support the law.
No, no, I
It's
know
just
you
that I don't think we should
But-
have
but
our
this has been-
children, our students that are working at our summer camp program, have them fingerprinted for, yeah, I'm not really sure if that's something we want to start doing, is having the kids that work over there during the summer fingerprinted. Is that the intent of this, is to do that? Because if it is, I think we ought to, maybe consider that before we adopt it. Are they inclusive of the law? So what is your interpretation of that, Counselor? Are they?
I would say yes.
I think the board knows that this was drafted because of the impact it has on the rank and file bargaining units and all the employees. It was drafted by Labor Council. I don't have an interpretation other than, as I look at it here, part-time employment would include, in my view, seasonal employees. They fall under that umbrella of part-time employees. So if you passed it as this way, I think the seasonal employees would be included. That's how I would look. If you wanted to exclude seasonal employees, the clause would be in that, in the law that would, so exclude them.
Yeah, I just don't know if the intent of this law, I understand what the intent was for full-time employees and part-time hourly employees. I understand that and I agree with it. I just don't agree with the having to have all of our summer children, the kids who work at our summer camp programs, have them go through fingerprinting process as a, requirement of the position, of their position. I don't know if that's what you understood either, Frank, was it? I don't want to.
No, I didn't understand it to be, I consider CITs as volunteers.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't get paid, so, they're not paid employees.
No, some of them are paid. They're,
No, CIT is not paid,
It-
and
it-
a counselor is paid.
correct,
I think maybe you need an age
correct. So, I
Tony,
don't know if you.
I think what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like there should be an age limit, because there's some seasonal employees here that are part-time, that are adults, and they come and they work here and elsewhere. But I hear you, and I kind of agree with you, because I was one of those counselors and lifeguards there. I don't think at the age of 16, 17, I'd want to, the other thing is we want to make that job competitive, and you want people coming, like, someone's gonna come and be like, all right, you got a fingerprint before you get an $8 job, watching the kids. Again, if you're an adult, yes, but if you're a minor and you're in high school, you're not gonna have any background. Most likely, you could have a background, but most likely the vetting process also would put it out. So I do agree with you on an age limit for the CITs or counselors.
Well, that would include,
And-
if this law was adopted the way it's written, would include the lifeguards also.
Yeah,
Yes.
So, I mean, is there?
and they're all high school and
they're all-
college age.
Yeah. So do you want to put an age on it? Can we,
It's-
You're going to exclude seasonal employees, you're going to have under a certain.
well,
Sorry.
I am in agreement with what Councilor Lupinacci stated
I
about
don't
the
have a
seasonal.
problem.
We do have seasonal people here that are older that it would apply to.
Right.
So if it's seasonal, then if we could put an age on it, on the seasonal requirement, an age for that, I think that would.
The way you're speaking of it would be applicants for full and part-time employment with the exception of seasonal employees under a certain age.
Right.
As a clause in there. You can certainly do that. You're within your right to do it. You can't make that amendment to the law now without renoticing it and having the public
Okay.
hearing.
All right.
That's
I mean,
fine. My
are
view.
you okay
That's fine,
with-
yeah, no, let's do it right and be
Okay.
done.
All right, okay.
So just add that, Greg, we're
We'll
just gonna
add
add that,
But we have to hold over the seeker or dismiss it?
You have a motion. I don't think you had a second, so if somebody want to withdraw the motion, you might as well do the
No,
seeker on the final law.
I think Susie did second it.
Do I undo my second?
You can withdraw your second if you want. I think you should do seeker on whatever the final version of the law you're going to end up considering is. If
Annie,
you're
I
not-
withdraw my
Okay.
second.
Okay, so we'll make the amendment to the law, Frank, and once we do that, then we will notice it. We'll
That's
have to
fine.
notice it again with the amendment, and then
we'll just add language to section
that's
2.
all. And once again, I am fine with this, I support this law, and I thank you for championing it and bringing it forward. which you did do, and
No, let's get it, let's get it
that's
right.
something that we should do, but let's get it right before we... Okay, all right.
Is it 18, is it 16?
18, yeah.
Okay, I just want to, it's going to be with the exception of seasonal employees
Under the age of
under
18.
the age of 18.
Yeah, or 19, something like that, that's fine.
Just give me a number, so we could,
Under the age of
I'd
19.
say 18. Nothing else is 19, do it 18.
Why would you do 18?
18?
Why would you do
Because you have
19?
18-year-old,
In high school.
you have 18-year-olds in high school.
Yeah, but they're considered an adult,
Adults.
they can go to war. You can go to war, you
All right,
can
we
get a
can, we can
fingerprint.
discuss it another
all
time.
right, you just have to let me know that, and I'll strike fees at a 15.3 on the technical side, and then we renotice it, okay?
All right? Okay. All right, good. All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Okay, next item on the agenda, number 2, is to accept the town board minutes of May 4th, 2016. I need a motion to accept.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Lombardi,
Second?
seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next resolution is number 3. It's a resolution authorizing additions, deletions to the active list of the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department. Councilman Lombardi, would you read number 3?
Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the addition of the following names to the active list of the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department: Maxwell Sanger. And resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the deletion of the following names to the active list of the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department: Joseph Razziano. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, second by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. And I just wish to express best wishes to Maxwell Sanger for joining the ranks of the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department. Thank you in advance for your volunteerism to your community. And I'd like to thank Joe Reitano for his volunteerism as a member of, now that he's a past member of the Mahopac Fire Department, but for your service to the fire department while you were an active member. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 4, is a resolution authorizing submission of collateral in connection with the performance bond for Random Ridge LLC for $994,484. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 4?
Whereas a performance bond in the amount of $994,484 was previously posted by Random Ridge LLC in accordance with the land subdivision and/or zoning regulations for tax map number 76.10-1-23 with respect to Random Ridge subdivision, and whereas Blitman, Mahopac LLC, successor to Random Ridge LLC, has submitted a new performance bond in the amount of $1,967,000 issued by Atlantic Specialty Insurance Corporation, bond number 5249, in form and content which has been approved by the Planning Board Attorney, and whereas
No, Cologne.
Random Ridge LLC has requested that the Atlantic Specialty Insurance Corp., bond number 80005249, be substituted as collateral for the completion of the approved Random Ridge subdivision improvements, and whereas the Planning Board of the Town of Carmel has approved the proposed substitution. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorize the substitution of the Atlantic Specialty Insurance Company bond number 800005249 in the amount of $1,967,000 as collateral for the completion of the site improvements at the Random Ridge subdivision, and be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the release of the previous bond for the site designated as Lincoln General Insurance Company, bond number SUR 01222224, for the completion of the site improvements in the Random Ridge subdivision plan, which was previously posted by Random Ridge LLC in connection therewith, and be it further resolved that substitution of collateral shall be deemed complete upon the approval of said substituted Atlantic Specialty Insurance Company bond as Form as to form by town council. Acceptable? Bond as to form acceptable by town council and upon filing of said Atlantic Specialty Insurance Company bond in the office of the town clerk. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 5, is a resolution authorizing payment of outstanding 2015 invoices. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read number 5?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, as commissioners of the various Town of Carmel water and sewer districts, hereby authorizes the payment of the following outstanding 2015 invoices during fiscal year 2015. The vendor Dunright Construction, the date of service was 11/25/2015. The work was Carmel Water District Number 3 curb box replacement in the amount of $1,600. Dunright Construction, the date of service 11/25/2015. Carmel Water District Number 3 curb box replacement in the amount of $750. Dunright Construction, date of service was 8/5/2015. The work performed was Carmel Water District Number 2 hydrant replacement in the amount of $3,000. Dunright Construction, the date of service was 8/5/2015. Carmel Water District Number 2 hydrant replacement in the amount of $3,000. TAM Enterprises, Inc., the date of service was 9/17/2015. Carmel Sewer District Number 2 elbow fabrication in the amount of $3,950. Be it further resolved, the Town Comptroller Marion Maxwell is hereby authorized to make any and all necessary budget transfers or modifications necessary to effectuate this authorization on the terms set forth herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 6, is a resolution accepting a proposal for the welding repair services at Carmel Sewer District Number 4 wastewater treatment plant. Councilman Lombardi, would you read number 6?
Resolve the Town Board of Town of Carmel, as commissioners of Carmel Sewer District Number 4, hereby authorize the acceptance of the proposal of TAM Enterprises, Inc., Goshen, New York, to perform steel beam repair at the Carmel Sewer District Number 4 wastewater treatment plant in accordance with the proposal of April 27, 2016, at a cost not to exceed $5,000. And be it further resolved that upon presentation of certificates of insurance in form acceptable to Town Council, Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all documentation necessary to accept the proposal on the terms and conditions authorized herein. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 7, is a resolution awarding of a bid for the Sycamore Park roof replacement. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read number 7?
Whereas the Town Board of Town of Carmel has previously authorized advertisement for the solicitation of bids for the replacement of the roof at the Recreation Office facility located at Sycamore Park in the Town of Carmel, and whereas such bids were received and opened on April 29, 2016, and a bid opening memo is on file with Town Clerk Ann Spofford, and now therefore be it resolved that upon recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Fanzetti, P.E., the Town Board hereby awards the aforesaid bid to Barone Construction Group, Highland, New York, the low responsible bidder, meeting specifications at a cost not to exceed $59,332, and be it further resolved that upon review of insurance certificate in form acceptable by Town Council and Kenneth Schmidt, Town Supervisor, is hereby authorized to execute any other and further documentation necessary to accept said bid and contract for said services upon the terms authorized herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote?
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi. Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 8, is a resolution accepting the donation of a park bench for the Mahopac Chamber Park. Susie, would you read number 8, please?
Be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes and accepts the donation of a park bench for the Mahopac Chamber Park from Mr. Barry Gelber of Mahopac, New York, and be it further resolved that said donated bench shall contain an engraved dedication which shall read, "In loving memory of Bertha and Julius Gelber." I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. And I'd like to thank Mr. Barry Gelber for donating the park bench to the Mahopac Chamber Park in loving memory of his parents, Bertha and Julius. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 9, is a resolution authorizing improvements at Mahopac Chamber Park. Councilman Lombardi, number 9, please.
Resolve the Town Board of Town of Carmel in connection with the proposed Eagle Scout project of Will Lacey of Boy Scouts of America hereby authorizes the performance of improvements at Mahopac Chamber Park in accordance with the memorandum and plans provided by Director of Recreations and Park James R. Gilchrist as detailed in this memorandum to the Town Board dated May 6, 2016. And be it further resolved that upon presentation of insurance certificates for all vendors and contractors proposed to perform improvements in connection with this authorization in form acceptable to Town Council, the aforesaid work may be commenced. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. And I'd like to send a shout-out, thank you, to Eagle Scout candidate Will Lacey for selecting his Eagle Scout project in the town of Carmel, in this case, the Mahopac Chamber Park, and for redoing the gazebo at that location. So thank you, Will Lacey. Appreciate all your efforts and donation to the town of Carmel. Thank you. Okay, next resolution number 10 is a resolution authorizing improvements at McDonough Park. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read number 10?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel in connection with the proposed Eagle Scout project of Robert Sakirka of Boy Scouts of America hereby authorize the performance of improvements at McDonough Park in accordance with the memorandum and plans provided by Director of Recreation and Parks James R. Gilchrist as detailed in his memorandum to the Town Board dated May 6, 2016, and be it further resolved that upon presentation of insurance certificates for all vendors and contractors proposed to perform improvements in connection with this authorization in form acceptable to Town Council, the aforesaid work may be commenced. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. And as I did with the previous resolution, I'd like to thank Eagle Scout candidate Robert Sakirka for selecting his Eagle Scout project in the town of Carmel, in this case, McDonough Park. So big shout out to Mr. Rob Sakirka, his family, and his scouts and scout leaders for his project here at the town of Carmel. Thank you so much. Okay, next resolution, number 11, is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 104 of the Town Code of the town of Carmel. Susie, would you read 11?
Sure, resolved that pursuant to Town Code Section 104-8, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby waives the application of Chapter 104 of the Town Code entitled Noise with respect to the County Putnam and its Friday Night Barbecue Series. Events scheduled for the following dates at Putnam Country Club. June 3rd, these are all 2016. June 3rd, June 10th, June 17th, June 24th, July 8th, July 15th, July 22nd, July 29th, August 5th, August 12th, August 19th, and August 26th. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes, and they're a lot of fun to go to.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
And Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried.
My throat is-
Okay, next resolution, number 12, is a resolution making reappointment to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 12?
Sure, resolve the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby reappoints Vincent Toronto to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board commencing June 14, 2016, and concluding June 13, 2019. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 13, is a resolution for reappointment to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 13?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby reappoints Nicholas Fanning to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board commencing June 14, 2016, and concluding June 13, 2019. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, number 14 is an amended resolution making reappointment to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read number 14?
Sure, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Robert Laga to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for a term commencing retroactive to June 14th, 2014, and expiring June 13th, 2017. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, the next resolution, number 15, is also an amended resolution making a reappointment to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. So we're amending an original resolution reappointing the individuals to the Environmental Conservation Board. There was a 1 year that wasn't included with the reappointment at the organizational meeting beginning of the year, so we're just amending that resolution. Who has that? Councilman Lombardi? You have
15,
it.
right?
You have 15, yes.
Resolved, the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby appoints Anthony Dusovic to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for a term commencing retroactive to June 14, 2014, expiring June 13, 2017. I offer the resolution as read.
Okay.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough and Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, the 16th and final resolution for this evening is a resolution authorizing a payment of sick time to the Town of Carmel Police Department. In this case, it's Chief Kazari. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read this, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby authorizes payment of 60 days of accrued sick time at 75% to Town of Carmel Chief of Police Michael Kazari at a daily rate of $570.91 for a total of $25,690.82. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. And just so everyone understands, this is his accrued sick time, so it's sick time that he had in his sick bank from day one when he started here as a police officer. He's accrued 400 sick days,
About 360.
360 sick days over that period of time. And what he's doing is he's selling back some of those sick days. It's actually 60 sick days that he's selling back. And how this benefits the town is that upon retirement, whenever that may be for the chief of police, he is entitled to buy back sick days at that time. So we're actually he's buying them back at a lower rate than he would at a higher rate of when he actually retires. So this makes sense for the town to do this because we're actually paying him out at today's rate and not whatever the rate may be whenever he decides to retire. So there is a savings to the town by the town board agreeing to this for the chief at this particular time. So I just wanted to explain that so everyone understood. Okay, that's it for the agenda items this evening. Is there anyone here that would like to address the town board on agenda items that we covered this evening? Okay, there being none, is there anyone here for the open forum portion of the meeting for new business with the town board? Okay, no, there being none. Does anybody have any announcements? Any board members?
Just the one, Rich Duffy, who is having his Eagle Scout fundraiser tomorrow,
Okay.
which is May 19th from 6 to 9 at the American Legion. It's $10 a person. So if everyone can go out and support Rich for his Eagle Scout project, that would be great. That's it.
Okay, good, thanks, Sue. I actually don't have anything tonight either. We do have, We do have executive session this evening, so we're going to be closing the meeting from executive session. We're not going to be coming back out here, and the executive session is with Police Chief Mike Kazari, and it's discussing a personnel matter. So I need a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Good night, everyone. Be well. We'll see you here next Wednesday for a town board work session.
We haven't talked about it.